calling the meeting of the Ayer Board of Health to order for Monday, December 16th.
All right. And Drew, we have our health agent here tonight. Do you want to revise this?
Yes, let's revise the order so that she can
She
go
doesn't have to sit around all
first.
evening.
Okay, perfect. And we have no public input, so we don't have to do that. So you gave us some
Oh, and one more thing, Madam Chair.
yes.
Just while Bridget is here. We would normally, in January, be going back to our second and fourth Monday schedule.
Mm-hmm.
However, on Monday, January 13th, the town manager, the board of selectmen, and the finance committee are doing a kind of a public forum with the budget book and everything, which last year they did almost when it was time to approve the warrant. Now, the chair assured me it would be a better font this year, that you would be able to read it. Last year it was kind of minuscule. So I would like to make a motion that we cancel our meeting for January 13th and just go with the second meeting, which would be January 27th. So
I'd second that.
I think we can do that. If there's anything that's still outstanding with permits or whatever, I can come in if I need to, or
we've got the holidays and everything.
Yeah.
So I don't see that
That's
we'd
okay.
have that much new stuff.
All right, let's do a vote. Mary's proposing we move
No, that we just omit.
that we omit, right, the meeting, Board of Health meeting on January 13th, and only have one in January, which would be the 27th.
Okay. I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so that
It is
takes
a
care
done
of that.
deal. Thank you.
On that note, we have some individuals that have not renewed or filled out the paperwork for their animal
Yes,
permits.
yeah.
I was going to send a letter, just, if you're okay with that, I'll send it.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Do we have, how many do we still have?
I think there's actually only 2,
Okay.
I think. I can follow up on that. I have the list, I printed it, so I will follow up on that, but the enforcement action so I'll write a letter just basically stating that we're going
Yeah.
to take enforcement action, and that's done. I think it's under chapter 1, section 111, chapter 31.
Yeah, I
Something
think
like
that
that.
sounds familiar to me.
Something like
yeah.
that. So we'll-
I know you'll get it right.
Yeah, so I will work on that and do that after the first of the year.
All
But
right.
it will, if you're okay, just so we don't have to wait, I'll send it out. Do you want me to
Yes,
send you a copy first?
No,
Okay.
you don't need to send it first. Just send it to, so that we have it on file, but
Okay, so I don't have to send it to you first?
no.
Okay.
No.
So,
No,
letter
so.
for animal rights. Okay.
All right. And we should also send letter. Very good. And included in your packet was a copy of the letter to Cindy Lavin regarding our determination that what they're doing at Living Water does fulfill the potluck criteria as defined by the state. So she now has a letter saying that they are good to go, and she had asked me by email if they needed to attend, and I said, no, it's a done deal. If you'd like to come, you're certainly welcome to, but So I think that's all kind of taken care of. What else have we got here from you? Sewage disposal works construction permit, but you signed this, right?
So that is just the certificate of compliance for, what is the address on that one?
28 Hatter Grove.
Oh,
So that goes with the gas station.
Oh, it's global, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
global.
Okay.
It
All
opens
right,
tomorrow unless the
Yeah.
Yes, so
snow
that
was
was,
so bad.
So that
Yeah,
was,
yeah.
that was cleared septic wise, and then the final inspection for food was done a couple of weeks ago, I think, something like that. And then,
So what's gonna be their format for food? Do they have, they're gonna be making stuff there on the premises? Like, what kind of stuff?
so it's, I think, a new format for them. They're doing sort of, I think, farm
That's what they
type
said
of
in
thing,
the ad.
or more organic.
Interesting.
So they have specific requirements, from what I could understand, as far as the products that they're selling have to meet their label standards. So it's just,
Oh, for the organic?
yeah, so
thing?
it's just
Yeah.
a better
Yeah.
for you product.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but it's coffee and I think sandwiches and, things like that. And I think they're gonna try to use seasonal fruits and vegetables in their food products.
That's nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
the interior, I think it was Ernie who posted some pictures, of it was cute.
It was-
The cafe with the signs and.
so it's, I think they're still working out some of the menu items, but
Are they doing like cook to order hot food too?
I think so. I think some,
Okay.
and like I said, sandwiches and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And I know they submitted a menu, I just forget what's on it.
Yeah.
But it was, like I said, more of a farm to sort of table type of
Yeah.
operation.
That's what their ad said too,
Yeah.
when it was the big
Yeah.
ad.
So that's all set to go.
Okay.
And that septic permit, that certificate of compliance goes with that.
Okay, got it. That's theirs, and then there's just a couple of food, so there's the Chia's in here, the convenience on West Main Street,
So
and
there was some food
Union
inspections.
Coffee.
Yeah, and
Okay.
the schools have been done for the year, twice as allocated by the state, so those
Okay.
are all set in there as well. Or the final one for the year is in there.
Okay, all right, got it. Okay. So I've got, I've got the school and walk and roll. So your note on walk and roll, no raw sushi, is that just a note to you, or
Yeah, so
you're
they-
telling them they can't do?
They have
raw
a,
sushi?
just for their menu disclosure, that's for me just to know that they used to sell sushi, but they don't sell it anymore.
Okay.
So I just made a note on the inspection report, just so I have record of that.
Oh, okay, got it. All
I
right.
try to write as much as I can,
Is
so I don't
this-
forget.
Yeah.
Is this mail that you're, or is this?
This is the Neshoba.
Okay,
stuff.
I
So
just
we'd
want,
actually let
for my
me-
notes.
Yeah, let me hand that over to you, because I know you like to record, and I like you to record. It's a good thing.
No, I don't necessarily record all the number of
Yeah.
routine permits, only if,
But you can record what, you know,
well,
what's
only
pertinent.
if Bridget has put down some pertinent things, or, says I'm going back in 2 weeks, or
Yeah, yeah.
I found this or that. I think these are kind of routine things.
So this looks better than.
They did really good, and I
Good.
told him, they made a lot of progress, and
Good.
it's been, I think, 2 or 3 inspections that we've had that he, no major issues, so
That's good.
he
That's a good
seems,
thing.
yeah.
Is this is interesting, this post sign saying the last inspection report is available. Is that something in the like new food code things? Yeah.
And
Okay.
it's like, it's sort of a pain because it's, people always forget to do it, so we started making the signs and giving them out to
Okay.
people.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is
yeah.
a new component of the food code, so.
And who does it say on the signs that, who do they contact, us or
Nope,
you?
it's just, they're supposed to keep a copy of their inspection report there, and then if anybody asks for it,
okay.
just, it's visible.
Oh, okay, so we shouldn't get any requests for anything. It's
No.
all handled within the
Yep.
restaurant.
I mean, if they do make requests, we obviously have that
Okay.
stuff on file, but it's just basically, there's supposed to be something posted. And part of the issue that we're having too is some of the corporate places have sign requirements, so it's not like when you go to a
Oh,
fast food
right,
restaurant,
yeah,
the
yeah.
store can't just post a sign, it has to be the corporate sign.
Right.
So we're having to push some of the corporate chains
yeah.
to, put them up.
But that's not, I mean, that's been in places like New York City for a long time.
Yeah.
And Boston and some of the bigger cities, so they must have some format for.
Well, it's
for
been in
that.
effect for a year too. That's
Well,
the thing,
right,
too.
yeah,
And
there
it's
is
like, it's
also-
just sometimes it's frustrating.
Yeah.
It's in between inspections. It's
Yeah.
but it's one of those things too. It's not specifically. I don't think it's on. So part
Like
of
the checklist.
So yeah, that's part of the issue is that there's not a
Oh,
spot
boy.
for that. So it's by recall remembering.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think it's. There's a couple that when they did the food code, they removed a couple of the things that. So now we have to remember to write them in.
Yeah, yeah, got it.
So
Okay. So that is a good thing. As long as you're here, what's with Michelle? Yeah, I know, I beat you to it, Mary.
Yeah, Mary, get to that.
You done with these? Can I put these in the folder?
Yeah, I'm just not gonna list all of those, I just listed,
so
What's the story?
I think. So I did an inspection there, and I'm trying to remember the last time. Hold on, I don't even have it. They did make some improvements. What I think happened was I have to get you a copy of the inspection report because I think I just put it on my desk without, usually when I come
Yeah,
back, I make a
yeah.
copy right away and put it in the
I know.
envelope. And I think I came flying in and went right to my office, and I think I have to make you guys copies of the last report. But they did make some improvements. I have not confirmed, but I heard they might have put in a new floor, so I have to go
Ooh.
back over. Again, that's not confirmed.
That must have been a bit of a cost, so.
So I don't have it when I was there. It was just, it was within the past, I was there within the past month. I just don't know if I got you the actual report, so I'm gonna make a note to make a
Okay.
copy. But there has been, they did make improvements upstairs. They're trying to do some stuff up there as well, so.
I think you
That's
mentioned,
good.
I think she mentioned before, maybe the last time you were here or sent a message,
Yeah,
because it was gonna be quite costly.
it is, it's one of those things where
Yeah.
all the equipment has to be moved out.
Right.
And
yeah.
depending on when they do it, you obviously, sometimes you have to shut down
Yeah.
unless they can do it at night and get everything back in, but
Yeah.
I don't, I'll follow up again, but like I said, I just, had been upstairs this morning with the building inspector, and I thought I had heard that they did the inspection, that they had, seen that it was done, but
Great.
Must be tough though if you're open 7 days a week. Like,
Yeah, I
they
know.
are not, they don't close, right?
no, and it's really
They
tough.
open on Sunday also?
I
Yeah.
think so.
And that's
I
not
thought
an
they
easy-
Is
closed
one night they don't
Sunday.
do hot?
Yeah, one night they don't
Food,
do,
is
or
that
they
Sunday or
stop
not?
early maybe one of
Yeah.
those, but they're open.
Yeah, they're open, that's true. Yeah. Yeah.
I'll find out, and I'll get you that inspection report. Like I said, I'm sorry, I don't.
No,
Oh,
that's
that's
all right.
fine, yeah, that's fine. I was just curious because we want to take advantage of having you here, so. The couple of other things too, to just, I know that you and I have mentioned this when we talked, but the aquifer protection regulation, I know what I need to do with that. It's just take out everything that has to do with permit. I just have to do it and get it to you.
Yeah, or I think I said I can even do it, and I went to do it today, and I, with the snow, got called out to do the septic
Yeah.
inspection, so
Yeah.
I literally went to do that today. So it's pretty simple and straightforward. I don't think there's many
Okay.
parts of the code, so I can, of the
Oh, that would be
regulations.
cool. If
so
you
I-
want, yeah, if
I'll
you want to
it.
do the aquifer, that
Sure.
sounds good.
And I think, like I said, it's just removing that one section.
Because
I think that
we
word
as a-
permit though shows up
Yeah.
kind of throughout, so you might have just checked
Right.
that.
But
Yeah.
still, we as a health board are still gonna have our regulations
Yeah,
to protect our zone two.
Right,
Right.
we're just not the special permit
No, but,
authority.
but we just have, but what I'm saying is we have to make sure that it's understood by anybody,
Mhm.
that we have regulations.
Right.
And if you're going to do something, it has nothing to do with zoning.
Right.
They still have to submit that to us.
So when I get the transmittal forms, depending on what it's for, we look at it for septic, we look at it for well, we
Yeah.
look at it for the zone two, for the aquifer, for the food end of it. So
Yeah.
when I comment, I'm commenting usually for everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, if it's applicable. If there's no food end of it, if there's nothing with food, then it doesn't matter. But when we're checking different things, we always check to see that if they're in the zone two, and just making sure that, first and foremost, it's not a prohibited use in the zone two.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, exactly.
but
Okay,
other than
cool.
that-
Yeah, if you
So I'll
do
do that.
that, then I can,
I was gonna do it today,
I
and
have the, well, it's like me, I have the best of intention with body art, because we did talk about, prohibiting some of the things that seem a little more invasive, shall we say? I'm trying to be tactful. So I know I keep saying I'm gonna have that, but we kind of got sidetracked with we were flowing along with the living waters for a couple of weeks. So I will get back on that. Is there anything else, Bridget, from your perspective, that having to deal with our regulations, or anything that you think needs, it's such a treat to have you here, just to be able to ask you this in a meeting, like, anything that needs shoring up, anything that has changed regulation-wise, on a larger level, that we should be making sure our regs?
I don't think so. What I will do is, I just wanna look at the well regulations. There's
Mhm.
currently the moratorium.
Yes.
But at some point, maybe
Yeah.
look at those, but I don't think, obviously the food code changed, but
Yeah,
that's through the state. The body art, I don't know that needs to be looked at unless you wanna just make those changes.
Yeah, actually, we wanted to, because we thought we would take advantage of this time while we're
Right.
not, disturbing any
Right,
businesses
Right.
in town,
Mhm,
making them
that's true.
change their practices. So this would be a good time to think about what we want to allow and not allow.
and septic wise, we have had actually, today, which is when I was gonna look at the regulations.
Yeah.
95 Fitchburg Road just put in a new septic system. So in the past couple of months, we've had 95 Fitchburg Road and Harvard Road, which is completely unusual.
Huh.
Because you guys don't,
Yeah,
you're mostly town
Who's
sort.
90?
yeah.
95 is, Splash. It's a,
Oh, right, yeah.
So,
yeah.
Right.
that,
Got it.
I did the final inspection there today.
Okay.
So I can look at the septic regulations though.
Yeah, if, it's actually, we looked at and reaffirmed
Yeah.
several of our regs. We made some minor changes to the animal
Yep.
reg. We, reviewed and reaffirmed, there's got the list, a bunch of them.
Floor drains,
Yeah.
5619. Keeping of animals in foul, 11419. I think that was, we made some changes in that.
Yeah,
Let's see, moratorium on groundwater wells in the
Yep.
town of Ayer, reaffirmed 11419. Outdoor wood burning boiler
Oh,
regulations, 5619. Private well regulations, 11419. And then prohibiting smoking in or on public property and places, that was done on 5/20, and it went into effect July 1st.
Yeah. Yeah, so we actually have looked at and,
And
All right.
regulations restricting the sale of tobacco products, that was 5/7/2018.
okay.
So what we're looking at now is trying to keep track of the solid waste
Yep.
Yeah.
followed. I
Yeah.
think what we were, in fact, Pam and I mentioned it when we were driving, when she was chauffeuring me down here tonight, that I think there might have been some mergers, or some company has bought out another company, and they go by. Well, if you're driving during the day and a truck goes by, you think, I think there's a name change on that. But I do
know.
think that we've had a lot of changes.
Yeah, it very well could be, and I think for towns that don't have trash pickup, it is becoming more common for people to get their own trash pickup. It's just easier than,
Yeah.
I mean,
It is.
there are more operating in the towns now than there used to be.
Well,
Yeah,
I
And they do
think,
recycling too, so that,
yeah.
Yes, right.
But I
That's
think
nice.
what happens too is you get a lot of, well, we have a lot of people that are renters.
yeah.
And in fact, if you're renting and you leave and you say, oh God, I'm not gonna bother to call whoever the company was and say, I need a refund. So the new people move in and they see that there's, two were recycling and a trash thing, and they look across the street and they see the day that the other people put it out, so they put it out. Well, of course, nobody stops. Well, that's strange that they never picked up. So then Mark Wetzel gets a call saying, well, how come the town didn't pick up my trash? Because if they see 2 or 3, they think that the town is employing them,
Right.
so it's kind of funny, but.
Welcome to small town America.
Well, true, if people are working during the week,
Yeah.
and a lot of them on the weekends, if they're busy, if they've got a young family with kids, so they don't even think about the
Right.
transfer station.
Yeah.
Some
that's really
only
what it
do
is.
when it comes time to, what am I gonna do with my grass? What am I gonna do with all these leaves?
Yeah.
What do I do,
I
where
got
do
this
I
old
get rid
sofa.
of it?
Where am I going to
Oh,
put this
that's a
old
big
sofa?
one.
I
Yeah.
know. I'll just put it outside and let it get rained on.
Somebody will take it.
Yeah.
Mattresses are big too, which
Oh.
is, I mean, and that, on a side note, we started getting more complaints regarding the old photo booth on 210
Yeah.
West Main.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
What's going on there?
so they're looking to tear down the photo booth.
Beautiful.
Whose property?
That is, it's new.
Oh,
The
that whole,
owners are within the past year, I think.
but it's that whole strip mall there?
Yeah,
It's the same.
2018. In fact, I think, isn't it the same owner that bought Nick Glagus's place? I think so.
Is it? Yeah.
I
So,
believe so.
I sent her an email a couple of weeks ago, and she responded that they're looking to get that photo booth taken out. And I mean, it's sad because they do respond to us fairly quickly. It's just, they took out the bins, the clothing bins, and people are still dumping.
Oh, still
So,
bringing stuff there.
I think they're putting up cameras, or I suggested that for now, and notify the police, but the goal is to get the photo booth out, just to clear that area out.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Who goes and there's no bin and they say, I'm just going to drop my stuff here
Oh,
anyway?
I know.
yes.
So they before the last storm, there were mattresses that were piled there, so they, and then they got plowed.
Piled mattresses?
Yeah, then they got plowed in, or maybe a couch and a mattress, and then
Oh my God.
the snow plowed it in, so they couldn't get it out. So then, of course, they had a break, but now we're gonna get more snow, so. But they are working on it actively, trying to figure out, so they think
I
they're.
never knew that was I have 2 recliners I'm trying to get rid of. Maybe I'll bring them down to the photo booth. Who knew?
Oh my God.
Oh, I know. Who knew?
I mean, that was a photo booth.
Yeah, exactly. That's how old we
I
are.
used to see people drop stuff there.
Yeah, we used to drop
Yeah.
stuff there.
No, I mean, within the last few years, you'd see people.
Oh, you mean drop stuff,
Oh, yeah,
not
walk
pictures?
down
Oh, I
the
see,
street
yeah,
and then,
right.
you know, just throw their trash there.
Don't quite get it, I don't know what's going on
Or
with that.
sometimes even look in to see if there was something that they wanted to take out. Oh, yeah. It's awful. How many trash haulers do you have listed right now?
It looks like we have, what, we're up to permit number
Just
9?
rattle off some
10?
and I'll tell you if they're ones I see.
Yeah, one of them is one that you mentioned. So, of course, we got Waste Management, Waste Not,
Yeah,
E.L. Harvey,
yeah,
D&D,
yeah,
I didn't know about that one, Metrano.
yeah.
So that's 5 of them.
Yeah, we did 5 last time. There's 3 that are still
Shaw.
outstanding from last year. Shaw,
Republic.
Republic we did last time. So Shaw, Sylvan and Sons, and Save That Stuff are the 3 that we, from last year that we don't have them this year.
Save that stuff.
So I'll send those letters out again this week.
Okay, and Shaw's done.
Yeah, Shaw's usually, I don't know why, I sent it twice to them and it hasn't come back yet, so I don't know.
Well, that's what I'm concerned
Yeah.
on, because they have to have these by January 1st.
Yeah.
So there's
That's
just 3
what I'm
outstanding, all the tobacco permits are in.
Okay, so when you say done though, you mean that for Shaw, they're not done and that they have
They don't have,
permit?
they don't have a permit,
That's
they
what
haven't
I
sent
was
anything in.
referring
Yeah,
to.
yeah.
Yeah, there's
okay.
3 that haven't sent anything in yet.
Okay, and that's Save That Stuff.
Shaw and Sullivan and Sons. And I gotta look at, I think Sons of Christoph come in through town too. I think I've seen them and they haven't
Yeah.
sent anything in there.
That might be one of them that I saw
So
go
I
by.
gotta send one to them.
I remember them.
Yeah, I think they
Another
do
year.
occasionally. In fact, I had a Sons of Christoph when I was working on the house, so.
It's just ones like that weren't permitted before that we gotta send out to yet.
Because last year, I did start working on the, we're not gonna miss that again, the annual report. And last year, we had 13 permits.
Yeah, those 3 missing would be the 13, because we're at 10.
Oh, okay, got it. So this, yeah, we're up to 10 here, and then that would be the, yeah, okay. All right, so that actually, hopefully,
Bridget,
will be
just
the
for
same.
a couple of minutes while you're here,
And I'll sign this one.
we voted to let the chair start organizing the information for our town report. Can you think of anything that we need to put in? I think we started off the year with that, and you had to make sure that the mother and children were put
Yes.
safely. But remember
Shirley-
living in
Shirley
that
Street
Shirley
reunion?
Street?
I think that was last year.
I thought it was the beginning of this year.
I think it was the beginning of
I
this
think it was
fiscal
January.
year.
I think it was one of the first things you did. I thought it was this
I don't
year.
think it was January. I think it was this fiscal year, but I think it was last calendar year.
So you don't think it was January of 19, of 19?
I don't think so.
You think it was 18?
I think so, because it went into foreclosure and there was a lull, a long lull.
Yeah.
And I think now, I think they sold it at auction. I've had a few phone calls regarding that property, but I think it was,
Just double check on that, because I almost
Sure, I
was
will.
sure that it was the beginning of this year.
Now, do we usually put that kind of stuff in?
Well, I think if it's kind of a stuff that, hey, this is how we started off the year, we had
Yeah,
an emergency, you made sure that the family was safe.
yeah, that was a partial condemnation.
Yes,
Yeah.
Upstairs.
Yeah.
yeah.
But then
And I
didn't
did
the other
read-
piece of it end up getting condemned eventually too, the other floor?
Downstairs?
No,
Oh, okay.
they moved out, so I think the
Oh,
whole house is
okay.
vacant now. And then I think it went into foreclosure and then auction.
I think I saw something in the paper about the auction, that's why I
Okay.
still think it was this, started this calendar year in
I
January.
gotcha. So the animals too, the animals. There's no new animals. in here,
No.
Right, okay, all right. Because last year also, so, you know, I need to wait until the end of the year, but we did 18 animal permits last year. So I need to update that number once we get our final number. And then we had, so that was 13, that was 18, and we did 16 tobacco permits. Are we clean on tobacco?
Mhm.
Everybody's got their,
Mhm.
what they need to have? Okay, great. Perfect. All right. Anything else going on with you, Bridget? You wanna,
I think.
anything we can do for you? Anything you wanna do for us?
I think we're good.
As if you don't do enough already for us.
No, I think we're good. I can see I can go back in our records and see if there was anything significant. I just can't remember what I did yesterday.
I know, I have this, I'm looking through the minutes too, going,
You know, it's like,
wow, really? Seems so long ago.
yeah, I mean, it's like,
Yeah, I'll talk to you anyway before it goes in, but just to kind of keep on your radar that,
what was that street?
Sure.
It was Shirley
Mechanic Street,
Sure.
the corner.
oh, mechanic, okay.
Yeah.
It might have been January 9th of this year.
Yeah.
Oh, Mary.
I
have it.
I know it.
I don't remember what I ate for lunch, that just don't doubt my
No, you're right,
dish.
no, absolutely.
Yeah.
Amazing, absolutely
I
amazing.
knew because she told us that you said, this is, I want you to know at a meeting that this is how we started off the year with an emergency situation. And there were children there and we're concerned about that.
Yeah, you're right. Jeez, you're sharp as a whip.
Oh, but that doesn't go in this annual report.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it
It's
does.
annual reports, not fiscal report.
So it's,
It's
Oh, God.
Remember,
Annual report is calendar
Calendar
year.
calendar, that's why,
January,
remember, I
December.
said that last year. People get confused. The report is calendar year
You
because
probably have this down by now.
we always have it
Oh, it's
usually available for
Yeah,
town meeting.
all right. So let me at least make a note of that, so I get this right.
Yeah, the only thing that we have to worry about in fiscal is our budget, everything else we do
Is
calendar.
calendar, yeah. I don't know why, when I started doing this, I thought, okay, so I go from July.
No.
Yeah, no,
No,
it's,
no,
So this is for calendar
Yeah,
year
always.
2019.
correct.
Thank you. All right, and we've got some tobaccos here, so can I tell by the numbers on this?
yeah, there should be the last one, I think, on it, the jack-o'-lantern, I think, is the last one that I did, or the traffic circle. No,
Barnum?
traffic circle or Barnum Liquor. is the
Yeah,
last.
Barnum. Okay, so we have 15 tobaccos?
Okay. Yeah, which would make sense because the Oriental Market doesn't have theirs anymore.
Oh, yeah, okay, right.
So,
right, right.
and then the Mr. Mike's changed to Global Montello, so to all
Yeah.
Town Fresh, so there'd be your 15.
All right, got it.
And we'll say everyone that, when I sent those out, were very responsive to get them in, and we're concerned about the deadline that I posted on there to make sure they'd get it in time. And I said, oh, no, you're fine. As long as I have it by the 16th, you're good. I gave you guys a few days leeway on the deadline, so they were all very good.
That's good, yeah.
And I got Matronos in the mail today, so I know the trash haulers are still kind of trickling in a little bit, so I'm sure the last 3 will come in
Yeah.
before the end of the year.
Yeah, I know, those are always kind of, they do so.
I'm surprised this one, because I did it in Lancaster, Republic was the hardest one to get a hold of, and they were one of the first ones that came in, so I was shocked.
Wow. Yeah, it is. Okay, so we actually are totally out of order tonight, because we've done,
It's all right.
we've done Bridget's material, and I haven't done any other signed stuff. The last thing, I guess, before you go, Bridget, was I just wanted to mention, and you, of course, are perfectly welcome to stay, but if you need to get out of here or want to, I think we're done with
I think want would
the
be.
show, the stuff. The PFAS. I just saw in the paper this weekend that the state is doing the 20 part per trillion limit instead of 70. So, and I think that goes into effect like sometime next year, so I'm not really sure how that's going to affect anything going on with the water. I was going to just shoot an email to Mark Wetzel and see.
Yeah, and that's, again, I think that's a reason to look at the well regulations
Yeah.
as well, to incorporate stuff like that. But, again, we don't have many private wells.
Right. From a well standpoint, yeah, we don't have a whole lot of exposure.
The only thing that you might want to consider, and I'm just throwing it out there before I forget, but because of these issues, there are some older homes that do have private wells. What you might want to do is, in other towns, they have a requirement that for the sale of a home, you have to test your well. Some towns leave it up to the homeowner and the buyer. Right? It's between the two of them, but other towns do require that for the sale of the house that there is a water test done, and you can certainly incorporate that into it as well, because the town is taking care of the town water supply.
Yeah.
But then the private wells that are out there.
Yeah, that's a really good point, and that's where we would put it, right, in the well, the well regulation.
I think in the well regulations. I can double check on that.
Yeah, so that probably would be a good one to take a look at.
Yeah, there's some things I just want to look into, but that's something that I think might not be a bad idea, because like I said,
It's being talked about now
Right.
everywhere, this PFAS thing.
Yeah.
And for them to lower it that much is probably not.
Well, yeah, I know.
It's too much.
There was a lot of concern about that because people are going to have, trouble hitting that limit. And we were under the 70, but I don't think we'll be under the 20.
I don't think anybody, I think when Mark was presenting that to the selectmen, and he said it several times at meeting, I mean, there's just so much you can do. You can't, sometimes they make these regulations, they don't have any idea how you're going to enforce them or anything. But, these people that
how are
sit
you going to come
in
into compliance with?
these offices, and I suppose they've got to justify their job.
Right. I
But
suppose.
I don't think anybody has worked harder to keep their water clean or spent more money than the town of Ayer.
Yeah, and thank you to Pace for getting that kicked off. And
Way back.
all those years ago.
Way back.
Yeah. Actually, just one more question for you, Bridget. So, I am so sorry for jumping around like this, but I'm going back to the minutes from November 4th here, and there's a statement that I'm not entirely sure is true. Can you just take a look here? I'm not sure if you told Cindy that they have to stop or not.
So essentially, what happened was the complaint came in, and I did not know anything about anything. who was
Yeah.
running it, who was in charge of the church. That was when it was behind the town hall.
Yeah.
So I
yeah.
actually drove out there and sat out there to try and gather
Yeah,
information, and that's where I saw it. They think they were 3 times a week, and I found the reverend's phone number,
yeah,
and
yeah.
so I called him, and he voluntarily complied. He, so they weren't shut down. I explained to him they need to have a permit.
Yeah,
And,
okay.
And it was basically what we call, it's voluntary compliance.
Okay.
So they were not shut down. He
Yeah.
voluntarily complied. You know.
Yeah, that's what I had thought had happened, and then when I was looking at the meetings, but was that
That's
in
what they said.
Cindy's presentation?
That's what they said. It's
So-
so everything that, so whether what actually occurred,
Yeah.
what was said
yeah.
at what the meeting was,
Right.
Yeah.
what's in
okay.
there.
So it was basically, like I said, the complaint came in. I didn't really have any information, so I
Mhm.
drove over, sat there, looked,
Yeah.
read the signs on the building, and then called, I forget his name.
Yeah.
Reverend Wells, maybe?
Wells was the
Steve,
one.
I think.
Yeah,
Yes.
so that's why I
Yeah.
called,
Yeah.
and just explained there's no permit, and you can't operate without a permit. And
I
that's
see.
where the discussion came in with the state. And if it reverts back to that,
Yeah.
that actually does need a permit. That was not a
Yeah.
potluck.
Yeah. That format.
So
Right.
that format. So, but there was, like I said, when we have people that don't have permits and are operating or are operating out of the scope of their license,
Right.
a lot of times they will come into voluntary compliance and just, you don't have to send an order. They've agreed not to operate. And that's basically,
That's how I thought that whole thing went down, but this was not when they were living water.
Right.
This was
Right.
when they had the old
right,
name, right?
Right.
Okay.
Apple Valley, was it Apple Valley?
Apple Valley, yes, I think that's right.
Okay, yeah, I think you are right, because that's what I kind of remember too. Okay, all right, just wanted to make sure that we got that. So what we might want to do with that one is maybe just add a note to it that, how would we handle that? Because that was in her statement.
That was,
but-
yeah,
Yeah, so I guess we could,
I can put a note in this meeting minutes that you clarified with Bridget what actually occurred.
yeah, actually, let's do that,
Yeah.
yeah. So then we can
Okay.
close the loop on that.
All right.
Okay, great. Bridget, would you like to, since some of this stuff is about all that, do you want to take a look at before we sign them? These are the ones from November 18th. You have the ones from the 4th. They're in your hand, and you're welcome to take a look at those. So we're actually reviewing and approving the 4th and the 18th?
No, just the 4th you're just signing. You voted to do the 4th, you just didn't sign with the last meeting because I had to make some changes
Oh,
that
okay,
affected
that's
that
right.
page.
Some corrections.
So you're just signing them, that's why there's only one copy.
I have
And
a
then-
brain like a colander when I get to this time of year. It's like a
No,
big spaghetti
remember we
colander.
made
Goes
some-
in and out.
I
We
drove
made
my
some
son to basketball at the
changes.
wrong school on Saturday, so it's fine. So he missed his first practice.
That's a
Remember,
good
we
one.
made changes and we approved them and.
I do remember this.
A clean copy. That's-
Yeah, I do remember this now. Oh my God. But that's a good idea. Let's get it in.
Yeah, so I'll just, under the discussion of minutes for this meeting,
Yeah.
I'll put that you asked Bridget that question, did she clarify
Yeah,
what
she
occurred?
clarified that.
Yeah, and
Right,
then this is the only thing we
sequence
can
of
do.
events.
Not that anyone's
Yeah.
gonna,
You never know.
yeah, it's in there if anyone wants to read.
Clarification,
Hey,
it's always good.
Okay,
I've gone back and read multiple years of old minutes, so it's, somebody might.
yeah. I know, it's enlightening. You go back and say, well, yeah, I do kind of remember
So-
that now.
just for clarification purposes,
Yeah,
since there's this section in here about the several questions on the role that Neshoba Board of Health has with the relationship of the Air Board of Health,
yeah,
I mean, that I think is pretty simple and straightforward, just while we're here and
yeah,
it's publicized.
yes.
We work for you. We are regional Health Board, we cover, I think it's 16 towns plus Devon's.
That's right.
Yeah,
So essentially, any gray areas or when anything comes up for interpretation, that's why I send people to you, because
sure, yeah.
I can't make that decision. And
Yep.
in this particular case, I was guided from the state on how to interpret some of these things.
Yeah.
And as I explained, we're at the mercy of them getting answers. Sometimes it's very difficult.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
don't want to put things in writing, so there's a lot of phone calls going back and forth about, you know,
Right.
what about this, or what about that? And it's frustrating for them, I know, because they have 300 and something communities
Yeah.
they're dealing with as well. So it was a long process that started in October. But again, any clarification, or if anybody doesn't agree with me, we send them to the boards.
Yeah, that's
for that,
totally
for you.
appropriate.
And
Yep.
our job is to guide you into making the best and safest decision for people and for the town. It doesn't mean that you're going to agree with me. It just means that I present you with the best possible information, which is
Yeah.
what I think I did. It just took a lot longer than.
Yeah, it did, but,
So,
and don't have any, you shouldn't have any hesitation to do that either.
no,
Because
and it's, you know, again, for clarification purposes, and I think you already know this, these are not our regulations, they're not Ayer's regulations, they're not
Correct.
Neshoba's regulations.
Yeah.
It's very similar to the building code and the fire code. We enforce the state's regulations.
Yeah.
And the decisions that are made based on the safety of the people involved. And sometimes, and I explain this to many people, we have to protect public health. And sometimes that means that we make decisions that aren't popular, but
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah.
we're here to protect the people.
Right.
And people, you know, not everybody realizes the significance of the food code and what's in it and why. But it is a rather large code. This is my,
Oh,
that is
you're
literally,
well used.
this is what, and this is
Coffee.
exactly what it is. It's,
Oh, my
there's
God.
a lot to it, so that
Yeah.
is, and there are gray areas, and when there are gray areas, we have to interpret them the best that we can, and I always say it's to be fair and equitable and consistent.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
that's the only piece of this that just, if there are any questions, that is who we are and we work for you, basically.
Yep.
You have the final say, not me.
yeah, and we need that relationship because you're a trained professional. You know how to do inspections for certain things. You have training that no one here on this elected board has. So of course we have to utilize the services of someone like Neshoba. A small town like Ayer can't have a qualified sanitarian on staff. Yeah, so
No, I mean-
really Neshoba is a
Right, and
perfect thing for this small town area.
And I explain this as well to several people. At our office, I happen to cover air exclusively, which means the food, the septic, the
Yeah.
wells and things like that. But then there's also a component that I don't cover. Everybody in our office, I happen to be the food inspector, so my specialty is food. But there's Kayleen that does the pool inspections. So there's several pools in here that are done. That's for
Right,
Kayleen. Jim does the camps. I don't know that there are any camps in air, but he does. He does that end of it. There's lead paint inspections that Kayleen and I are licensed, so we do all the lead paint inspections for all of our towns if needed.
Yeah.
So there's different components of what we do, but there's also different people that are involved that you don't even see.
Sure, yeah.
I could not for the life of me do a pool inspection. At
Yeah,
some point,
yeah.
I just, it has not been something that I do. But, you know, again, there's different components of what we do, and different people that handle it, so.
Exactly, and things that require licensing,
Right.
you need someone that's an expert in that,
Right.
in that area, so.
And I wouldn't be doing my due diligence if I pointed the town in the wrong direction.
Absolutely.
And like I said, sometimes we don't make popular choices, but it's protecting public health. There's different pieces of it that a lot of people don't understand.
Yeah,
You know, with pools, with camps. There's a lot of licensing requirements that go along with that. So, but that, to clarify that, we work for you. And I think you
Yeah,
know
absolutely.
that, which is,
Yep, yeah, absolutely. But the food thing, as we've discussed, and this would also, I think, be perhaps interesting to people that might be listening or watching at home. You have told me a couple of very interesting little facts about foodborne illnesses and how in local towns, they're not necessarily in Ayer, but in some of our surrounding towns, you've worked on some outbreaks of foodborne illnesses.
it happens, and it's very scary. And it doesn't happen often, but it does. We just had one in September. There were 20 people that were sick. One last year, 80 out of 100 people, and those are licensed
Right.
people that are, it just, sometimes things happen.
Yeah.
With food recalls, there's more testing done, and with more testing, there's more recalls. And
Yeah.
that's, it's scary. I had a complaint today of a foodborne illness. It's not confirmed.
Yeah.
But, nevertheless, we are constantly getting phone calls.
Right.
I would say at least every other week we get something, and if what happens is it goes from, if it's a confirmed foodborne illness, it goes from the state to our office through the nurses and then to me. So if somebody gets sick in Acton but ate in our jurisdiction, they call us and let us know where they ate, and we follow up.
Okay.
But and vice versa. So today's complaint was not confirmed, but we'll follow up with the town.
Yeah.
Some of the person ate at that was outside of our jurisdiction, and we'll deal with the ones inside of our jurisdiction. But it happens, and
And the incubation period can be so different depending on what particular organism you've got.
I think it's hepatitis. There's one form of hepatitis that the incubation period is 70 days. So 70 days after you eat,
Wow.
you start to get sick. But the average is around somewhere between 1 and 3 days. And sometimes it can be 5 days. So that's why you have to keep the shellfish tags for 90 days to trace it back. But that's the 70-day period.
Yeah, because of the hepatitis tie-in. So when you say a confirmed case, does that mean that you've actually gone to a doctor, the person that got it went to a doctor and they said, yes, you have this organism?
If it's confirmed, it's through usually blood or a stool sample.
Yeah.
And then, so once it's diagnosed, the state lab it's reportable, so the state lab gets the information, then they call the town nurse, and then the town nurse gathers even more information, and then depending on if they are in our jurisdiction, if they live here, what did they eat, where do they food shop? Then were they traveling out of state, out of country? So it gets really involved. In the case last year where 80 people got sick, I think it took almost 9 months to get the report. Like, the state does a full investigation, and they try to figure out exactly what went wrong, and a lot of times they don't. Norovirus is one that spreads very quickly, and it can just literally be massive groups of people together in one room. It has nothing to do.
They had a lot of
cruise ships.
There's a lot of norovirus.
Both of the cases, the bigger ones, were a norovirus, and I don't know that specifically a food item was ever linked, but again, it was close, people in close proximity to each other. But it can be a food handler. Exactly. It gets scary, but...
And none of it's pleasant to have. None of these foodborne illnesses.
No, we've had several over the years, and we've even had a death. So it does happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's a serious thing, and we've never been out to be difficult for anyone. It's just providing the correct information or the correct feedback, and making sure that it meets regulations and it meets the state expectations and our own regulations.
There's always the liability issue with, it's the town.
Well, and that's
the bottom.
And that is the exact point where it's not the easiest decision to make, but sometimes the decisions that we do make one, our goal is to protect public health, but two, it's to make sure that we point the town in the right direction. With
Yeah.
all the information that we have. And that's the hard part, is when you're interpreting some of these regulations, no matter what they are, whether it's the food code or the building code or the
Yeah.
fire code, there are these gray areas that people fall into.
Oh, yeah.
And you really, when that happens, you need to define it right away so that when it comes
Right.
up again, we know how to handle it. If it comes up again, we know
Yeah.
how to handle this now,
Yeah,
which,
yeah.
like I said, unfortunately, it took time, but,
Sometimes it takes time to get to the right.
But it was
answer.
just the impatience of the crowd that went to 2 meetings that wanted and demanded
Yeah, it was a little-
an answer that night.
right, and that's the unfortunate part, is that's not,
We could not supply that.
no. And that's not, and you shouldn't, that's something that it takes time to get the right answer sometimes, and as a board, your objective is obviously to do what's safe and right.
Correct.
And sometimes that answer is not popular, and I get that.
Yes.
But,
Yeah.
again, I say we sit on the front lines every day,
Mhm.
and we see things that, I don't even like to talk about it, because people are like,
Right.
yeah, you become
Right.
very unpopular very fast.
Yes.
When you start talking about parasites and all this other stuff, people are like,
That's okay.
but,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it does happen, and I think that's the key, is that understanding that. And I could talk about this all night, so I'm sorry.
Well, it's not, no, it's
No,
not just the food, it's
no,
food,
it's-
it's housing, and I think I can
Right.
speak for my fellow board members when I say that this board is deeply grateful for your
Thank you.
your support
Yeah,
and for
absolutely.
everything that you do. You work hard and you always try to do the right thing, and that's all
Right.
anybody can ask for.
So, with that said, it is difficult, but I apologize that I didn't have the answer sooner, but
No, I think you did your due diligence, and if somebody comes roaring into a meeting here and yells and thinks that we're gonna give them an answer right then, that's wrong.
And the town council did take a little time. I mean,
Yep.
they wanted
And-
that right away.
Yeah.
Why can't you just pick up the phone, let them
Well,
look
that isn't
look
how
in
it
a book?
works.
And that's not how, they
Correct.
just figured they immediately would get back like the next day and say, oh yeah, I looked it up, you're good to go. It doesn't work that way, so.
no, and I think the other piece of it too is, again, looking through all the material, and then there was some research involved.
Right.
We did a lot of research and a
Yeah.
lot of reading, and, I think that, I actually asked the state to tweak things a little bit and define it a little bit more, because on the enforcement end, it makes it very difficult.
Right.
And again, and it's in every code. Sometimes when I'm out and I'm doing a housing inspection, something pops up, and there's actually sections of the code put in there for that stuff. So
Right.
basically, you
Yeah.
can write something up that's not in, that you see that's
Yeah.
not, and I'll look at it and be like, I've never seen this before.
Yep.
And and that's why I always tell people too, as far as the housing code goes, if they want a variance, or if they don't agree with it, or if they don't agree with what I wrote, I always tell them, then you can go to the board, because
Right.
I can't make that
That's right.
decision for the board. The board
Right.
has to,
Right, yeah.
you have to go to them, and as a collective group, they have to make that decision, together.
Right, yep, that's our job.
So,
Yeah, agreed.
so
But it's,
that's my speech.
All
No,
right.
I think it
That's
was
your
resolved the right
That's
way.
the clarification that I guess was needed.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
Exactly.
You're welcome. So on that note, I have to go walk my dogs.
Yeah.
And
those
have a
dogs.
wonderful holiday.
Go walk those dogs, 'cause it's in the snow.
I know.
They're gonna be wanting their walkies.
So then,
All right, thank you, Bridget.
thank you very
you.
much.
Merry Christmas,
Merry
because I'm a very
Christmas.
traditional person.
Yes, I am too. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and everything in between.
Yes.
Oh, exactly.
Have a good night.
Okay, thank you.
Goodness. How about some minutes?
Okay, so I was just looking real quick. I do the same thing over, and I'll say, well, Jim, I think they're pretty good, except I believe you made a grammatical error here. No, I think on, when you get to, let's see, this is page 2.
Yeah,
It says, Pete Papineau stated that the board, I think you mean, is waiting to hear from town council and not if waiting, which
Oh,
is
yes.
a minor
oh,
thing.
I can change that.
That-
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay,
It's
very
just
good.
minor, it's nothing
Yeah,
that we
yeah.
need to retype or anything,
Okay.
so.
Okay, anybody in the mood to make any motions?
Well, with that, just minor.
Yeah, which I noted on this,
I make a motion that we approve the minutes of November 18th,
I second it.
2019.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Right, so I will sign this one. Now for the minutes from the 4th, I wrote on the front page of my
Okay,
copy.
that's
So I'll hand,
As long as the
we'll
signature-
sign this one, but.
As long as the signature page is fine,
Yeah.
I'll get the rest.
Right, that's what I was hoping. And we don't need to vote on these because
No.
we voted on the last.
Nick, come here.
Here we go, again. So that is done, this is done. Let's take a look at our mail. Bills. Neshoba.
Okay, hang on, now that okay.
Yeah.
Yep, the third quarter.
That's board.
Oh, that we needed to.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
a signature.
Okay, here is our report. Okay, yeah, we're doing well as usual.
Got a someplace you keep these.
Yep, they're gonna go in the TV side.
Now, you said a bill?
Yes, from your friends at Neshoba. So this is for third quarter billing fiscal 2020. And do you want just the total or do you want it broken out?
Break it right out, this is the third
Okay.
quarter.
Nursing service, $2,306.98.
Say it again, I'm writing slower.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Right.
Nursing,
$2,306
806.
and 98 cents.
Well, that 98 cents are really important.
Yeah. And for environmental service is 5055.27.
055. Okay.
27.
I know, I wasn't sure how it was gonna be, so I did layers.
Yeah, I always do.
Yep. Okay, we had an inquiry, if you remember, from somebody, and it had gone around conservation, and then it came to us, and it was an inquiry about the mosquito project. So if you still have that email. This doesn't really. These are the dates that the mosquito control are meeting.
Yes.
So I think if you're not wanting to have your.
If you do not have one your yard sprayed on their website, they have a link to do that.
There is, oh, okay, all right, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, I wasn't absolutely certain about that.
Yes,
Okay.
there is. And it's a lengthy process, so.
Okay.
It's not
so-
like, oh, they're spraying tomorrow, I should ask not to. No, you gotta
Right,
do it,
you
you
wanna
gotta do
start
it, you gotta do it
early.
weeks ahead of time.
Yeah, okay, all right, got it. We have an animal bite. A cat has bitten someone that went to the ER on Pine Ridge Drive.
It was a cat.
Yeah, and it was an unknown animal, unknown owner.
So the cat got bitten.
No,
No.
the cat bit a
Somebody.
person.
Okay,
Yes.
well,
How can you not know the owner and not know the cat?
Could be a feral cat.
Yeah, just some feral cat, hanging, some neighborhood cat. We had, when my mother and Mrs. Hemingway lived there, we had a lot of feral cats because they were, yeah, exactly. I don't even know if they were still technically feral at that point.
Some of the best cats I had as a kid were like that.
Yeah.
Just ran in the house one day, go, guess
This
that's
was
my
on
cat now.
Yeah.
Pine Ridge Drive.
Yes, this was on Pine Ridge Drive.
And 2-3 years later, they didn't come back home. Oh.
Yeah, yeah, moved on. All right, we've got Omni Environmental Group, and this is letting us know that they have a scope of work for the Mass DEP. This is a multifamily residential property, 7 to 9 Groton Road. Yeah, or it's at Groton Street.
Groton
7 to
Street,
9
this
Groton
sounds familiar.
Street.
Oh, okay, yeah.
This, oh, yeah, okay. This was a fuel oil.
That was in the
Yes.
paper,
Yeah.
Tier 1
Yeah.
fuel.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's exactly what it was. So this is the Mass DEP, this is the site plan, this is, yeah, the affected area, the remedial excavation. So this is the plan for dealing with that. This is the classification of the site assessment and the scope of work. So you got that, Mary, 79 Groton?
I saw it notified in the paper and I said,
Oh, right, yeah. This is Groton Road. I think it's actually Groton, that's Groton Street. isn't
They
it?
said it corrected the paper. It
Okay,
said Groton
all right.
Street.
And we have Mass DEP. This is the transfer station, third-party inspection report. And let's see if there is anything that was not good. Not seeing anything. Not lighting my hair on fire yet, so. No deviations. And then there's a bunch of supporting pictures and checklist. And this was done, if you want to record that, Mary, on, let's see. Oh, wait a minute. This is not the transfer station. This is FBS Tire Recycling. 80 Berkshire Boulevard.
How the heck did
We have
you get that?
boulevards in here?
Yes, of course it is. It's listed there. You know, you would need to get out more.
Where Ruthier's,
Apparently I
it's
do.
not
Yeah.
Ruthier's anymore, it's FSB Tire Recycling.
And I'm more shocked that it's a boulevard.
It's
It's that way going down to the
It's
yard.
right on the right-hand
Yeah,
side
up
if you're
Willow
going
Road.
down. Yeah.
Who knew?
But it's not Ruthier's.
Yeah,
It's changed hands.
yeah. Yes, it's now officially FBS Tire Recycling. I'm sorry, this is not the transfer station. I thought we had one for the transfer
We
station.
did last
very
meeting. I thought I was
recently.
like, oh wait, did I just lose?
Yeah,
the
I
last meeting?
know. Are we doing this twice?
this is just an
That's what it is.
inspection report?
Yeah.
This
Yes.
is the third-party inspection that
Okay.
DEP requires. Yeah. And they had no
FBS, did you say?
Yeah, FBS. You can see if you want to copy it off of that.
Speaking of which, transfer station, remember they had, Robert had posted that invitation, there was gonna be.
Yeah, they were gonna reschedule, they haven't set a time for that
Okay,
yet.
I was wondering, because it was December 7th and they.
It
tabled
really made no sense to go down there
Yeah,
in the middle of winter.
yeah.
Right.
Why would you want to
Yeah.
be slipping and sliding? Because that's a very icy place. You know the way it's
Yeah, it
sloped
is.
there. It's
So
very
we'll hear
icy.
more when they
It
come up
is.
with another date.
Mhm.
and everything.
Yeah, I don't think they have anything planned right
Okay,
now.
good.
No.
So where are we, Pam?
Boy, I know, we have been all over the map. There is no new discussion. I think the one thing we didn't hit was the PFAS update from PACE. However, as I said, I did see something in the paper that there was, it seemed to be indicating that the state was going to go to this 20 ppm. So what I was going to do was just email Mark and then also Lori Meering
Sure.
and get their, just, see what comment they might have on that. So let's keep that on the agenda
And
for next time.
Bridget had asked me, and I explained to her why we were doing that. We were just keeping it, and then
Yeah.
if she comes
Right.
in or there's something, we don't have to say, oh, she's gonna have to do it in public input. I
Yeah.
said, you're just gonna see that, and she said, oh, okay.
And we get a notification for the next rab that it's just been tough trying to get to,
I know.
yeah. And Lori's been very
Yeah.
helpful,
Yeah,
very
she's a
informed,
really
so.
good resource.
Yeah.
So
Really
we'll
good
get an
resource.
invitation when the next rab is.
Okay, perfect. And I will ask Lori if, she's feeling like she would like to come speak to us about
Anytime.
the new limits or,
Anytime.
Okay.
She probably is digging around, trying to find out what's going on and getting more
Yeah.
information.
Yeah,
A lot of this is going to be impossible to do.
yeah, that's what kind of surprised me, that it said that they were going to the 20, and
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
I misread it. It's possible that I misread it, but I thought it said the state was going to the 20 parts per trillion. And I know that's been a fear because we can hit the 70, but hitting 20 is really hard.
I
So-
doubt that anybody could.
Let's hope that I was wrong. So I'll verify, first of all, the limit. Okay. 2020 meeting schedule. You know who always does the meeting schedule?
I don't know the sound of that. 2020.
Will our clerk be selecting
Looking.
dates?
Well, if you, I think I probably have a calendar. Well, we've already canceled
The
the one, the
27th?
first one. We
Yeah,
would
we're up to a good
normally-
start, huh?
13th. So
The
We would
13th,
normally
yeah.
be going on it.
So we start on the 27th?
That is correct. I have my DAV calendar here.
Alright.
That would be, the 27th. And then in February, it would be the 10th and the 24th. In March, it would be the 9th and the 23rd. Now, April, of course, is
That's
town
always,
elections.
Yeah.
So we would have just the 13th because the
Okay.
27th would be
And-
town election.
March what?
March is 9th and
The
23rd.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then in May, what we usually do in May is change them because of Memorial Day and everything. So we would end up, and because we have
Right.
town meeting
Yeah.
on the 11th, so in May, we would meet the 4th and the 18th.
And what day is, since you've got a town meeting?
Be Monday, the 11th. And I was sick at the fall town meeting, so I don't know what changes they made. I think they made some changes that would start for the following
For the
year.
day, yeah.
And then in June, it would be the 8th and the 22nd. July would be the 13th and the 27th. August would be the 10th and the 24th. Now, September would be the 14th and the 28th. Now, I think and it might be on a Tuesday, in September, we also have state primary.
It's Tuesday.
That would
Right.
be a Tuesday.
Yeah, that's a Tuesday, yeah. Oh,
And
gosh.
then in October, we generally change it again because of various things. So
Yeah.
we'll do the 5th and the 19th.
Because there's fall town meeting in there somewhere.
That would
okay.
be on the
And
28th.
a Monday
Oh,
holiday.
26. And then in November, we would do the 9th and the 23rd. And anybody listen, no, this is always subject to change if
Nice.
something comes up. And then if you want to do just the usual one meeting in December, you have your choice. So I would suggest maybe around the 14th, I don't know what you want to do.
Yeah, good question, because Thanksgiving next year, oh my God, how am I supposed to see this?
I know, right?
Thanksgiving is on
Why do
the
they bother to
20th.
give me this?
Thanksgiving is on the 26th. I'm up to December now, you gotta catch up.
Right, no. Oh, Mary, let's see, 2020, I'm still trying to figure out what year I'm in with this stupid calendar.
So tough.
All right, there's the 26th. Okay, so then December.
7th or 14th?
I would, I wouldn't do it the 7th,
Oh,
that's too early.
14th,
I would
yeah.
do just
Yeah.
the 14th for December next year.
Isn't it is it the 15th? No.
No,
it's the
14th.
Oh, I have some weird European calendar that does the week different.
So, that's that.
All right, 12/14. Thank you very much. Okay. All right, good, we got that one
Yeah.
nailed. So I think action items for next time then are, hopefully I'll have some feedback on the PFAS. If Bridget gets me anything with aquifer, I will bring a red line of that. I will get back on the body art. Got a little sidetracked. And I think it's just gonna be, maybe some straggler follow-up on
Yeah,
some of
okay.
the other permits. We'll do, like, in that January meeting, we should just do a check on, okay, so where are we?
Yep.
Everybody sad or something happening, so, okay.
But as far as the town report goes, that's, we've decided.
Yeah,
Going in, there wasn't anything extra except what we talked about.
I don't think so. When is this actually due?
They'll probably send you a notice in
Yeah.
February saying, oh, by the way, we need it in by the end of the week. I think that's what happened when
Yeah.
it didn't get put in because it
Okay.
came late.
Yes, so what I will do is I got some of the new numbers and I started on this. I need to add a couple more things by looking at the minutes. Mary, are you still the secretary of the executive board at Neshoba?
I am.
Okay, yes, very good. Okay, so I have the info that I need for the time being. We can check in, Heather, at the next meeting on get the final number and all the permits.
Sure can.
And I'll have a draft of this for everybody to look at next meeting so that I can then get it in after that. So I guess that would be another thing to add as a review item is the annual report.
Yep.
Put down a review of the annual report. All right, we're down to miscellaneous. And we got any miscellaneous we didn't hit? Did I do everything here?
I think we're done.
We looked at mail, we looked at Bridget's. I think we are set.
So I would like to make a motion to adjourn, and that's, we'll call it 6:53.
53. Okay. All right.
Oh, I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned.